Hello friends, Rizorty here with a brand new playthrough of Battle Brothers. If you're not familiar with this one, it's a turn-based squad strategy game set in the Middle Ages. You build up a force of peasants and fishermen, equip them with the finest of armor and pitchforks, and send them into the meat grinder of combat. Battles are often a bloody mess in this game, so don't get too attached to anybody, not even that nice fellow with the clever mustache. Or that's the summary I've learned in my 14 hours of play over on the Twitch channel. 14 hours of play is enough to understand this game's basic mechanics, but it's not enough to be anything near an expert, let alone to be familiar with any of its deeper strategy or mechanics. I have a general sense of how the game goes, but when it comes to doing things right, I'm a little bit worried. As such, this playthrough will be the debut of a brand new feature for the YouTube channel, a series called Rizorty is Bad At. In these playthroughs, I don't expect to show off any accomplishments, wins, or elite strats. Instead, there'll be hesitations, blunders, and profound losses. But regardless, we'll have some fun as we learn, and maybe, with some luck, we'll someday no longer be bad. We'll see. For now, though, we turn to the game. In the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that Battle Brothers is a hard game. Even if you've played similar games before, it's recommended you start with beginner difficulty and play the tutorial. If you say video game, we'll give it a go. I believe the tutorial does eventually merge with the new company start and lets you just play the game through. So our new campaign, we're second in command in a mercenary company that's been tracking a brigand named Hoggart for some time now. An unexpected turn of events leaves the company in shatters, and you in charge to rebuild it to its former glory. Recommended for new players, includes some helpful guidance in the beginning. Sounds good for me. We'll go ahead and call our company the Battle Brothers. No change needed there. It's a fine name for a fine game. This will be our standard. A fellow who has cut his own head off. I believe that accurately represents the level of competence that our soldiers will have under my command. This game has such fantastic insignias. We can be death, or a monk, or a miser who likes wearing black clothes perhaps. We can have a bit of hair on our insignia, if someone's toupee waiting there, no doubt. But no, we're going to go with the fellow who accurately displays my level of competence. Apparently this game has a late game crisis mechanic. Around about day 80 or so, something awful happens in the world. Now in the 14 or so hours I've played over on Twitch, I've never gotten to a late game crisis. So I have no idea what's going to happen at that point. And I'll leave it random. One of three things will happen, either war, some greenskins. I think that's goblins, orcs? I don't know what greenskins are in this game, but greenskins will come and get us, or the undead will rise from their graves to live in the world of the living once more. We'll leave that at random, see what happens. Permanent destruction, I understand it means that, like it says, various human encampments be permanently destroyed. And having the world go down in flames is one of the many ways you can lose your campaign. There's so many ways. We'll see, we'll see. Map seed, if you want to play along with me, is GMAIL. Wait, Gmail? Gmail? This stream is not sponsored by anybody, I swear. But Gmail, IITTL. Play along if you want to do so at home. Alright, I am going to just play the beginner strategy, beginner difficulty, high starting funds, and I promise not to reload when bad things happen, but I'm not going to click the Ironman button just because I don't want to have to deal with a corrupted save file or anything where I end up losing a playthrough for technical reasons as opposed to a bad play on my part. So, fingers crossed, pinky swear, no fingers crossed, pinky swear, will not reload. Let's start this game and see what's what. A tip, selling trophies from slain beasts can be lucrative. You can always get new ones by slaying more beasts. And these graphics are just fantastic. Such a fantastic setting there with blood spurting everywhere. I love it. The last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hoggart the Weasel and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. An ambush, some joke about horses, cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A harried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand. Met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. I am the captain now. I'm the captain now. Alright, here is combat. Here is combat for us. We are the ones facing left. Someone just got stabbed through the guts there. 2 of our friends have died immediately. And this fine fellow is trying to run away. This fine fellow over here is Hoggart the Weasel. The fellow we're looking for is fleeing the battlefield. What a cur. Yeah, wavering morale at the bottom there. So this is where the majority of the action happens in the game. What I know about it is, like I said, we're the ones facing left, they're the ones facing right. As Hoggart runs away, there'll be 3 of us and 2 of them remaining. Also, I love that we look like little Russian dolls here with no legs or arms, just a little chubby belly in the middle there, a little chubby belly, adorable. So it's turn-based. You can see the order of initiative at the bottom here. They've all taken their turns already because it was an ambush apparently. We get to go in order here. Every character has a variety of stats you can see, including action points and different activities you can do, use different amounts of action points. Then at the end of the turn, you get your action points back. Also, there is fatigue. Fatigue is gained for every action, like moving or using skills. The lower your fatigue, the higher fatigue goes, rather, the better chance there is you need to take a turn off to do nothing to heal up, getting rid of the windedness. Morale is super important. Morale guarantees that your men are willing to stay in battle. Enemies also have morale checks. So if morale goes up to a certain point, your men are filled with a fervor for battle, a readiness to stay and fight even longer, and will do, I believe, more damage as it gets higher. When it gets lower, they move more in the direction of wavering, wanting to leave the battlefield because they're no longer thinking that we will win. On the right-hand side, we see their armor, namely this fellow has no helmet at all, so he has no head armor, body armor of 35 points here, and then health. Now, once these reach 0, the character is considered dead. I think there's a chance of staying alive after an apparent death, barely hanging on to one's life essence, being sent back after near-death equipment experience, but we will see, we will see. Alright, so all we can do right now is just shoot a bolt. We can also move, I guess. We can run away a bit if we want to, but I think, I know that it's a good idea to get high ground against enemies. I don't see any high ground on this map, though, other than up the trees, but I don't think you can climb trees, especially not with any arms, strange little Russian doll fellows. Let's go ahead and shoot forth a bolt against one of these fellows. And as I point to the brigand thug in the back here, we notice that there's a shield on the other character in front. I believe that means that if we shoot at this fellow, the brigand thug, there's a chance we might also hit the brigand thug in the front there. So we'll shoot at the front line instead. 57% chance of hitting. Looks like there's a malice on hitting him because of the distance we're at. And I don't know if that means we're too close or too far away. So I see that if we step back a bit, costs 2 AP. So shooting takes 3 action points. And we need to reload afterwards. I don't think you can reload, move, and shoot all in one turn. So we're just going to hold our ground and fire wildly and hope for the best. Better than a coin flip. Good luck, team. A hit! Well done. Nicely shot. Poor fellow down a little bloody. Not happy about that. And yeah, we go ahead and reload now. Reloading costs 4 AP, builds 20 fatigue. I bet I could step back, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and just reload for now. Okay. And now we're going to end this fellow's turn. Also, one thing I'll need to work on in this playthrough is using the hotkeys instead of clicking all the little icons. The end of the turn is F key. F for finished. Eberald is our Axeman. He has a helmet on, he has armor on, and he's an absolutely tremendously giant woodsman axe right now. He has 3 things he can do with that axe. Number 1 is split a man in half. A slow overhead attack with full force to split a target in twain from top to bottom. Can you imagine? So it inflicts a huge amount of damage both to the armor and also to the person inside. I believe it's the case in this game that armor on enemies drops more often if you've not damaged it. So there are various ways you can use other weapons, namely daggers, to try to save armor to get to equip on your people. At this point, though, we don't have any daggers, so we're going to have to stand and fight. Now, I want to move Arebold into a position where he's able to protect the archer, whose name I don't actually recall. I don't think I actually said it on. Oh, Ulfert and Eberald. Good names. Also, I realized I was reading the other abilities here. So, round swing is his next one. You mow down all targets around your character, literally hitting all of the squares, or hexes rather, next to a character, including your own friends. So that can be super powerful against enemies and super awful against your own people. So we're going to walk up to there and then end the turn there. So now that he's moved up, he'll provide cover for Ulfert in the back row. End his turn, hopefully defends well. Last character, Jan Fritz. Named Fritz the dog. Some of you know I have a cat named Fritz the cat. Also in our current Rimworld playthrough, we have a character named Fritz as well. Fritz is in all the games. So Fritz is currently our spear person. He has a shield too. He's able to thrust with his spear, which does damage armor, has a bonus to hit, plus 20% chance to hit. He can spear wall, prepare to immediately attack any opponent that attempts to move into melee range, and on a hit, prevent that opponent from closing in. Targets hit will receive half damage normal thrust, cannot be used while already in melee. This can have the chance of knocking people that walk close to Fritz. Then we have knockback, use a shield knock target away by 1 tile, and we can also shield wall to protect ourselves. So I want to move all the way up here if I can, and then spear wall. Spear wall costs 4 AP, we have 9 in total. If we move to here, it only costs 2 AP, so let's move to there, and then spear wall. And now it's time for the enemy turn. And we move forward to attempt to stab our friend with the axe. But our friend with the axe dodges, actually. That's pretty good. That's pretty good there. Our friend with the axe is wavering in his commitment to this battle. I'm going to pass Arebold's turn for right now and let our archer... better yet. So I kind of want the archer to, or the crossbowman, to go ahead and take a shot before we do anything with our 2 melee people. And I'm curious how this will go. So I'm going to have Arebold wait until the end of combat. Then our archer friend can go ahead and try to shoot here. So yeah, it looks like you have a higher chance of hitting the closer a character is to you. At 63% chance hitting the thug here. And the fellow over there, we have a 49% chance, which is lower because he's armed with a shield and he's farther away, I think. Let's go ahead and shoot the close person and see what happens. So, shoot your shot. Well done. He's very displeased now. And we reload again. And now our archer friend, I'm going to have... Our spear friend, I'm going to have go ahead and spear wall up again and hope that this person will come in closer. So that's your turn. Well done. Or can we both shield wall and spear wall simultaneously? It doesn't say you can't. Shield wall, the shield raised to a protective stance till next turn. Allies using shield wall next to each other further increase protection with overlapping shields. Yeah, so it grants melee defense on everybody, so sure, let's go ahead and shield up. Apparently you can do both, 1 on each hand. And tricky spear friend is trying to flank around our spearman. Anyway, it is time for Arebold to chop this fellow in 2. There we are, well done. And now he can actually move down to provide a protective cover for the archer. Actually, no, we don't have AP to move, unfortunately. Too bad. So that'll be the end of the turn instead. Now, our spear friend gets to move behind. He's in a very confident position. The enemy believes he is doing well, even though all of his friends are dead. So let's do a point-blank shot, which has a 61% chance of hitting. Do it, please. I missed! You fool! And now he can't reload because in melee range. I believe it's the case that every melee enemy has around them a zone of control. So if Ulfert moves out from where he is right now, I believe then the spear person gets a chance to freely attack him. We don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and pass his turn for right now and let Big Boy with the axe come on in. Yeah, so stepping in to an opponent's zone of control doesn't give an attack. I believe only leaving is. Now, if we go to here, it will take 2 AP. The attack takes 6 AP, so it should be able to move and attack both. So we'll go ahead and do that. We can't! It costs 6 AP! Oh no! So I guess that moving makes your attacks cost more afterwards. That is unfortunate. He'll just be standing there awkwardly now. Maybe you have to attack before you move. I wonder if I move down to here, we had a chance. Anyway, we'll see what happens there, so I'm going to pass your turn for now. And our friend with the spear is going to step in also and just give a thrust. Did a tiny bit of damage, almost none whatsoever. No more AP for shields up, so we'll see what happens. That's the end of our turns. Can't do anything else. Don't want to give a free attack there, so hopefully we don't all die. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ulfert gets hit twice in a row. Luckily he's still alive, but he has only 10 HP left. My goodness. Alright, now we go and chop this fellow in two. A well-struck attack there. Our people survive. Airbold killed 2 of them. Airbold is the MVP of this fight, having done the most killing and gotten the most damage done also. At the end of every battle, you get some XP. And you can see other things that have happened. Namely, Ulfert losing so much health. Poor fellow. Poor fellow. Alright, there's a loot page also, which you can see the items we got. So we got 2 new weapons and a tiny little buckler. Small but sturdy shield. Grip from the Fist. Offers poor protection against range attacks, but useful in melee. Take all those items, and then leave this combat. Victory to us. The Aftermath. You're alive. You won! Adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow shaft. This is the one that hit us in the knee, back when you used to be an adventurer like you. Your chest heaves, pain for breath. Everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men. 3 of them. And that bastard Hoggart did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Eberrold, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Ulfert joins the 2 of you, still breathing heavily. Then Fritz the dog. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Horeb to collect our pay. The Weasel's men are slain after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see to that wound before we lose you too. Wouldn't want to leave Ulfert in charge, right? And the men all laugh collectively. Good joke, Fritz, good joke. Okay, so our mission now is to return to Horeb to get paid. Horeb is way down here on the other side of this channel. Are we gonna have to go all the way around here to get there? I've not seen this kind of map before. I hope we don't have to go all the way around to get there. We'll see what occurs. Alright, let me bring up our inventory page now and see the team. Especially Fritz the dog, who is... no, especially Ulfert, one is pretty badly damaged now. Barely held on to his life there. And we can see he has a light wound, which will heal in 3 days. He's also dissatisfied, a little cranky. Because while we won a battle, lost most of the company, dissatisfied is not uncommon for someone living the hardship of mercenary life. The character isn't quite satisfied, hoping for things to improve. Understandably, my friend, understandably. I'm going to give our buckler here, our new shield, to Ulfert to keep in his pack. During combat, we can switch out weapons, and I realize now I probably should have equipped the knife in his hand when it was time to have him go melee before, but Didn't do that. We can use bandages, I believe. Clean bandages used in combat to apply pressure to bleeding wounds and stop hemorrhaging. Alright, only usable in combat. We don't need to heal him up right now. I think he'll heal up on his own throughout time. Maybe? Maybe. And I kind of want to put in his pack, but I realized that his pack's already full of a knife and a buckler. We then have a militia spear. Our spearman is also using a militia spear, which is in better overall condition right now. So hold on to that. We have a short sword also. A short raw iron sword with some dents and notches, easy to wield in one hand. And I'll hold on to that. We also have this item called the Fangshire. I believe we got this for purchasing one of the DLCs. I'm not going to read it all right now, except to say at the very bottom there, it allows the wearer to see at night and negates any penalties due to nighttime. This is a fairly powerful item relative to what we have right now, namely gives 60 armor on the head, where our leather cap is only 45, and Arabold's headscarf is only 20. I guess we'll equip it. It feels a little cheesy, a little silly that I already have this, but we can imagine it this way. The company successfully acquired one legendary item before they were all almost killed. That's our story, we're going to stick with it. We'll give Ulfert that little headscarf there, looking like a real cool dude now. And with that, we now need to head our way to Horeb. And if I just click on Horeb, I wonder what direction we'll go to get there. Maybe this is a crossing. Perhaps we can river cross right here, it'd be great. In the upper left-hand corner, we can see we have some food, some tools and supplies, ammunition, and medical supplies. These will all be used as we move throughout the map to keep us well fed, to repair our armor and such, and to heal up our men, hopefully. So glad we can cross these rocks right there. But nearly to Horeb. At Horeb, we see there's a fishing hut, a small group of huts surrounded by nets, spears, hooks, and fishing equipment. Smell from baskets of fish guts travels quite a distance. Also a harbor and an herbalist grove. Roke Grove, the knowing herbalist, collects all kinds of medicinal plants and roots. So this is a fishing village of Horeb. And we've returned to Horeb. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Horeb. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Kala the Elder, no doubt expected you to return in more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomed you to his house and offers bread and wine, while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze, as an elderly man with shaky hands tends your wound. A pin pierces your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. That's one tooth. I don't know how dental care is in this time of the year. Probably not great. Kala the Elder sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hoggart. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades at the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it into the wound. You nod and he does so. It's burnination time. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Wow, that sounds brutal. Kali the Elder hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, Shellsword. The brigand's been removed. It's a shame that Hoggart still lives. What was the job after all, though, kill him? But we want to get paid. Give us money. Kali the Elder gasps. Well, naturally. 400 crowns is agreed upon. He gestures toward the servant who rushes to your side with the pay in hand. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hoggart once and for all. I'll pay you again, of course. Another 400 crowns, shall we say. Eberald scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Fritz the dog stands to speak. Yes, the company's in ruin, but we will rebuild it. Without the Battle Brothers, Eberald would drink the crowns away, end up begging in the streets, and Ulfert, by the gods, we all know, he'd go chasing women folk until one stove is rotted head in. We need the Battle Brothers, it's all we have. What say you, Captain? Eberald burps and raises his cup to you. Ulfert playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard Hoggart or not, it's up to you, Captain. Alright, I will accept the mission. I'm glad that Kali paid us, what a kind and noble man he is, to pay his debts and to not force us to actually kill the person we promised to kill. Alright, we have unfinished business with Hoggart. Kala the Elder claps his hand in satisfaction. Excellent! My little birds will need some time to find where Hogarth is hiding his hideout. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies. Be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Callie the Elder's house and stand on the outskirts of Horeb, Fritz the dog seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. You're going to find 3 good men. Buy them some decent weapons and dress them in the best armor we can afford. I believe that's probably sackcloths and cardboard boxes. No good armor coming. The man paused to glance around. I bet this Bodunk town's got a desperate peasant or 2 looking for a new life. Or we could travel to Tiefenhaven in the north. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins. More likely to find men with fighting experience there, though. Alright, that'll do. Hire 3 men, as the game tells me to do. Welcome to a town. Here we have a harbor where we can book passage elsewhere. Here we have a marketplace where we can buy trade goods and sell what we have. And here we have some men to hire. And there are 3 men waiting for us. Widekind, Grimald, and Volker the Fisher. Each of them wants some money up front. That's the amount listed here. Each of them wants a pile of cash. This fee will be paid immediately on giving the recruit a proper inspection. You could try it out if you want to. Trying out gives such a recruit a tryout, and we'll see if there are any hidden character traits they have. Each of them apparently has 1 unknown character trait. Now, I'm going to be hiring these 3 people regardless of how awful they are. That'll be the initial backbone of the team. So let's just go ahead and hire them each straight away. This also increases our daily wage. I got to keep the money flowing in to keep the team well fed. Grimald and Volker the Fisherman. Alright, let's check out our new friends and see what hidden traits they might have. So first of all, we have we have Vidikind, who's a fisher or trapper of some sort. Yeah, he's a fisherman in his background. He also has Tough. This character is tough as nails, shrugging off hits and blows. I kind of wonder how he compares against my current shield bearer. Our shield bearer here is a companion, not known to be a big talker, but every right to be. Sacrificing his family's heirloom, an old shield of wood and studded iron, he saved your life. Quick whirl and whips his shield, then deflected all manner of mortal danger. Although quiet, you found Fritz's place in the shield wall to be rather indispensable. Though he is also bloodthirsty, all kills are fatalities. I guess that means you don't knock people out at all. He's still dissatisfied because he lost the company, that's how it goes. So he's our current shield wall captain. I believe he's going to find a place next to Vidikind here, who has a star in defense, range defense here. So every stat in this game can be improved with perks, but certain of their stats have innate bonuses. And we'll talk about how those bonuses work when we eventually level someone up down the road here. But yeah, you're going to be in the front row with our friend here. So there are multiple rows, there are 3 rows. Front row is obviously enough where the strong people go who can fight well. Middle row is for ranged people to shoot. And there's a back row, which is the camp where people will stay and not fight at all. Yes, you, my friend, have made it to the front row. Good luck not dying. We also have Grimald. Grimald is eagle-eyed. Blessed with the eyes of an eagle, this character can spot a fly from 100 paces away, plus 1 vision. And we can see he has ridiculously high range defense possibilities, and very high melee skill also. So I was thinking bonus vision would mean he's a good archer, and that he can see enemies from farther away than the average bear. But with really high melee skill possibilities and high range defense, maybe he should be frontline also. He also has the possibility of having high hit points eventually, where Vidikind already has 65 hit points. Grimald has only 55 right now. I'm thinking frontline also, but we'll see what happens. And then lastly is Volker the Fisher. Again, high range defense possibilities and high melee skill possibilities. All the people with melee skills. Hoping to have more people who are potentially good archers. Lastly, Volker here. What is your perk? Lucky. Has a 10% chance to have any attacker require 2 successful attacks in a row in order to hit. I don't think he's a good chance of dodging regularly. Okay, I am going to go ahead, I think, and put Grimald in the back row for right now. So we'll have a 4-person front line and a 2-person back line. What about Emerald? What's Emerald's ability? Swift. Character is naturally swift and agile, easier chance of dodging incoming projectiles. Seems like good for front line. He's the only character I have right now with high melee defense possibilities, with a star there. Also, already has pretty good melee skill, so not feeling super confident about our new friends, but they're just peasants filling out the troops. And now it's a matter of getting our 3 new friends some armor and some weapons. We want 1 bow and arrow, I guess. Let's go over to the marketplace now and see what we can find. So we need a bow and arrow. There's a staff sling also. A leather sling on a staff used to hurl stones at an enemy. With stones abundant everywhere, it will literally never run out of ammo. So it is a back row weapon. It does damage of 25 to 40. Might ignore armor. Range of 6 tiles. And has less effectiveness against armor than some other weapons perhaps. That's 25 to 40 damage. Also, we can get a short bow, which is 30 to 50 damage, so more damage. Unfortunately, it does need to have consistent ammunition to keep it going. But I guess for right now, we'll go ahead and get the short bow. We then need to get 2 new sets of weapons. I want at least one of our other frontline people to have a good wooden shield, so we'll get him one of those. And the armor available is a thick tunic, and not a fancy set of armor here at all. With a thick tunic, though, and the sackcloth better than around naked. Linen tunic, simple cloth tunic, fashionable but offers linen protection. The 20 armor is all we can do there. The current armor we have on our new friends is a sackcloth, a linen tunic, and a leather tunic. Okay, so Vitikin at least already has something like armor. Not the best, but better than nothing. So we'll go ahead and buy the linen tunic also. And we're going to equip those now. So our frontline friend needs to get the armor. Give him the thick tunic here. And so our frontline people have a thick tunic, which is a 35 armor. Middle friend is a 30. And the back row has a linen tunic already. We have 1 extra linen tunic we don't need currently because this fellow's armor is already better than that. The thick tunic here, the thick tunic here is a 35 armor eventually, where this one's at 20, so that's better for now. Okay, now someone needs a shield. Who will get the shield? I think the fellow who is tough, has bonus HP, will probably be a shield line person long term. And he does have a bonus to range defense. It already has 20 in melee defense, which is much, much higher than this friend here. It has 0 in melee defense, only 3 in range defense. So yeah, you're going to get a pokey spear also, a shield line there. And on the far side, your melee skill is a 51. We'll give you a sword. Let's have a throwing net. A net used to throw over the target or to hamper the ability to move and defend themselves effectively. Root a target in place and reduce their defenses. A one-time use, though. I don't think we want to use that long term, but put that in your bag as a weapon to pull out. Back row friend needs to get a bow there. And we want to have a quiver of bolts also, or some way to carry ammunition. I think we have to have that. Now, it's actually only needed to for crossbows. How about for bows and arrow? Bow and arrows. To buy a quiver here, or I don't see any quivers, so maybe we don't need to buy any of those. These are hats. Hats provide some defense, not a lot, but get some hats for our team. And they already have a buckler. I'm gonna buy one more buckler, I guess. We're outfitting the team nicely here. Let's go back to inventory again, and you get a buckler, decent in melee range. You get a lovely little hat, my friend. And remove the Ulfert's headscarf, which has 20 HP. Actually, he gets to keep it. 30 HP is better than 20 HP, may have heard. Everyone in the front line has some hats now. Everyone has some clothes. Hopefully, this fellow needs a non-empty quiver of arrows equipped. Yeah, we gotta find a quiver to make this person an archer. Right now, we have none available here, I think. Maybe the staff sling is a better purchase until we can have a quiver. We're gonna buy that also. I hope I'm not burning through my money too quickly. I worry I might be. We'll have to see what happens. And go ahead and put a staff sling on you instead. But he'll always have rocks to throw. That seems good. Alright, our team is set up. It is time for us to head out into the wild, I believe. And find someone to fight, maybe? Do wish we had better armor. Do wish we had better basically anything. But at this point, we just don't. Probably the big city up the way will have better armor for us to buy. So maybe our first mission will be getting to that new spot. Also, I'm kind of wondering if I should get pitchforks. Pitchforks have longer range, so our weaker people in the front line, I could give pitchforks to, and they can then fight over the front line. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and buy a pitchfork also for our weak friend in the front. And Warfork. Pitchfork reforged to a battlefield weapon. This does 40 to 60 damage versus the pitchfork, which does 30 to 50 damage. So it's a big improvement to damage. Though about 170 more money. Sure, let's do it. Sure, let's do it. And so I'm going to give friend Volker the Fisher that instead. Put him in the back line. We have 3 in front, 3 in back. I think eventually we want to have people covering the sides also. I like that setup. That seems like a good setup. I'm sure it'll work well. I'm going to cut the first episode there. We got a team. We got some clothes. Now, can we get ahead? We'll find out in the next episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.